Hey, JJ here, and this is the Lens of Truth podcast, where we play through the oldies and modern goldies to give you our opinion. With nearly 100 years of gaming between all of us, we see how well these gems hold up in our eyes. With me today, we have.
This is ATI.
And this is Zerovii.
And today, we are going through Laplace no Ma, or Laplace's Demon in the English translation. So this one's a little special here, another fan translation. This was recommended by Zero, and we're in the middle of Spooky Month. It's a game we've all kind of seen on the radar. We've all been a little interested in it. And how did you all feel about this one?
It's always nice to jump into a new Lovecraftian horror experience that is totally fresh to you. This examines the old trope of early 1900s Americana. There's like some gothic presence that's evil in this small town. You got to go investigate. Guess what? The castle you investigate is not beholden to earthly physics or laws of mathematics. So the castle is like this sprawling maze. Things don't make sense. There's all these evils around. It's the perfect kind of shit. Feed me this, inject it into my blood. It's like I was raised on Castlevanias and their twisty turvy castles and all this Lovecraftian stuff. This scratched that itch.
I love me some experimental Vic Takai gaming. Give me that Go 13. Give me that SOS. Give me this game. I love a good RPG that just makes almost no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, this one was
Yeah.
interesting. Go on, ATI, go on.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say this one was interesting. I tried to play it a few years ago. Didn't quite stick, didn't quite hit, but I was not in the mood for it. This game is it's different. You expect, a traditional RPG, at least in some kind of sense, but it really does feel like it's got that it does genuinely feel like, I hate making the comparison, but like the manor at the start, very Resident Evil vibes. Like it's scaled down, it's small, but the way the hallways and the keys, and then you get these hints about little things to unlock that. It was once it actually clicked and I knew what I was getting, I was totally in for the ride. I truly did enjoy it.
So that's one thing that's interesting to me as well. When this came out, a lot of people were saying that it was kind of a kusoge, a shit game, because it was just so different. It doesn't like play by standard RPG conventions. The original version of this game came out in 1987. It released a few different ports on different systems. It was originally on the NEC PC, and it got ported to like Super Famicom, MSX, a bunch of different stuff. We played the Super Nintendo version. Um, yeah, at the time this came out, it's like you fight enemies, you get like paltry amounts of experience. You don't get gold when you fight them. And it's like, what am I fighting? Everything is weird. But like having played this in 2025, I've played Fear and Hunger. I've played like all these different games. It's so clear that Fear and Hunger like idolized this game and took so much of it because like in this game you go around like examining beds and like tables for all these items and you just feel right at home. This is exactly the kind of like uh not as brutal as Fear and Hunger because that took it a step further, but it has that brutalism to it and like just the sense of like, oh, you're weak in this world of like scary fucked up weird stuff that just has it out for you.
Yeah, I suppose the common thread here probably is like this was based on a 1981 tabletop game of Call of Cthulhu. So in that whole like, oh, this is modern setting that slowly dips into crazy Lovecraftian horror is probably just the same drawing point for all of them. Just you're a normal human. You're no special hero. You're just, I mean, the classes are peddler, medium, detective, scientist, and journalist. There's no one here doing any superhuman feats
Well,
except
Yeah,
for
these are regular
yeah,
schmucks, but like I guess the
medium.
medium is kind of special. But you got to have one of those in a ghost story, right?
we got some healer in the RPG. We got to make a concession. I will say, however, that the original '87 version and this one are actually very different. like almost practically two different games at this point. The 87 one had you like start like it had like a whole aging system. Like you'd start at 15, and as you took damage and rest, you had a chance to uh, get older every time you rest, where you just stress induced aging. And there in the speakeasy, there'd be like a gambling casino that you could only use when you were over 18, and beer you could drink,
Funny.
and you could make money doing that. There was an interrogation skill where you could interrogate demons for money and stuff rather than just having to take pictures. That is to say that the one we played is a bit more streamlined. All of this is just taking pictures, and also has a what I saw was actually surprising to me, that it has like a limit break bar. I forgot the name for a moment, and I apologize. It has like a whole limit break system from like 95.
Yeah, that was actually kind of fun. I didn't use it as much as I probably should have, but it was a cool little addition because whenever I was in a jam, I was like, oh yeah, I'm max limit. Let me just bust this bad boy out. But I do want to talk about the historical context of this game. So like in the late like 1800s, early 1900s, like seance culture and the occult was like jumping. You had you had psychic like they would do like medium parties where they would, like try and raise the dead and have seances just kind of for fun on a Friday night, hanging out. And I do feel like this game kind of captures that little, like, that whole vibe of that time period where you do
Yeah,
have.
absolutely. This is like a celebration of that entire field of study. I mean, the game itself is based on a mathematician named Pierre Simon Laplace. It's not Laplace like I was calling it the
Yeah,
entire time.
yeah, I did that in the
It is
opening.
a French guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's this guy who is into like physics, astronomy, mathematics, and he's like, I solved the timeline of the universe. If you know everything in the past and you know the future, then you can walk with a clear mind. Blah blah, all this like crazy stuff. It ties into the occult. It's like a perfect balance of like this guy thinking math solved the universe, and then like making contracts with demons and all this stuff to be able to create his own realities. That's the basic
Yeah,
premise. So
it's the
like,
thought
yeah, it
experiment,
really, yeah.
which is just really cool. Like, it gets into that whole, like, I love when visual novels or RPGs take existing concepts, like Steins Gate, for example. Steins Gate based an entire anime series and visual novel on conspiracy message boards of time travel. If you were around in the early 2000s, you know about John Teeter, and Steins Gate just takes that and runs with it. You have CERN and just all these great, all these cool, like, physics theories that they bust out, and all these inventors. It's just really cool, and I think this game kind of like hit that kind of same note for me, where I was just kind of, every time they would talk about dark maths and like all these weird little things that did relate to the thought experiment that the game is named after, I was just like getting more into it because I genuinely love this kind of stuff. I have books on it. I've like, got my crystals right next to me. Like, I don't worship it and I don't live by it, but it's always so fascinating and it's always
It's
so
such an
interesting.
interesting part of history. Yeah, the way people have dug into it, and like there's been a shared cultural consciousness, like attempt to understand like the unseen in the universes for all these years. You can't help but be a little intrigued by it, at least.
Yeah, exactly. Intrigue is the perfect word because that's pretty much how I feel every time I dip my toes into this world. So it really was cool, like reading the little manuals that talk about this or that, and I was like, "Ooh, this game is kind of cozy." This game, I do wish I gave it a better chance years ago, but hey, sometimes things just take time, and you gotta let it cook a little bit. And it came at the right time,
Sometimes there's a right time for everything. It's letting the arcane sigils fall into place when they should be falling into
right?
place. You're just following the Emerald Road to when you were supposed to play this game.
Get that JO sigil out and power it up.
I had to wait for those atoms to line up in the future.
Right? Yeah,
They haven't
again,
lined up yet.
that's some Uchikoshi stuff, 999, the nonary games, like so much of that. I love it. I just absolutely love it. So having
Yeah,
that,
there's so many like future games that we ended up loving. So like going back to the game after experiencing those, it kind of like heightened my love for this game. If I played it when it came out, I probably would have thought it was strange. I'm like, I want my Final Fantasy. I want my like whatever, you know. I would want my traditions. But again, like I go over this a lot on a lot of these talks we have, but I appreciate the obscure and the bit odd more and more these days, especially after playing Fear and Hunger. Which, if anyone here hasn't played, you should probably play that if you have a strong enough stomach. Also, Look Outside is very reminiscent of this game, so go play Look Outside as well.
play them all.
That is on our list. I will say this game had a bit of a rough go when it was being made for the Super Famicom version, because it was originally like starting to be made in '93. It was going to be more of a first-person dungeon crawler game, which I
Oh,
really loved the idea of like
inject that into
using the
me.
mansion as a giant
That would have been
first
so
first-person
good.
dungeon crawler game.
And you could see
Yeah,
that
There
in
would
the
have been such
design.
a strong, yeah, there would be such a strong Fantasy Star connection there too. I wonder if
Yeah.
that would be the inspiration.
yeah. The original version, I think even the which one was it? I don't know if it was MSX or PC Engine that was the kind of remake. But like both those were also first person dungeon crawler
So
versions.
there are
This is the
first
first one that
person, there are FPS like dungeon crawling versions of this game that exist.
yeah, the
Ooh,
first
oh, I
two
might.
versions essentially.
Ooh, love it.
They have a lot more mechanics to them too. Like weapons have durability and will just randomly break because of a bad dice roll. It sounds very cool. For this one, however, we can see the influences of the Super Nintendo RPGs influencing its design on top of the Call of Cthulhu as well as wizardry somewhat. Like the original two are very much just spooky wizardry,
Mhm.
and I do fucking love it because it comes with like Etrian Odyssey style like party manipulation to try and maximize money out of the mansion. Very fun metagaming stuff. But for this, it's like, oh,
Farm the door.
well, what came out the year before this? Final Fantasy VI. What came out this year? Chrono Trigger. Oh, this is a bit of a really tough year for this game to compete in, but I think it manages to stand out as something interesting despite all that.
Yeah,
I
and
just love this game. It's just like this intersection of wizardry and Call of Cthulhu.
is it safe to say the Super Famicom version was kind of like not unfinished, but like I don't know, half baked is
So
not the
I've
word I
heard the
want.
code is like a total mess and that it barely works and then it's a miracle that it's playable. Zero, do you know anything more about this?
I did post a bunch, and I did see a little bit of the one FAQ I think we all read about this, with the guy mentioning that exact thing. I don't know too much more than what you guys know.
Like
Like the
even
whole second part of the game is just kind of underbaked, and a lot of quests were planned and didn't actually see finished because Vic Takai was going through financial trouble at the time and struggling to make a bunch of games to get out there.
yeah, because I felt like I thought I was missing something because there's not many sets of like equipment that you get. There's not like for as deep as like the game's potential is, like it does have its shortcomings where like you could kind of breeze through this game if you know what you're doing in like just a few hours. Again, you know that you could say that for any other game, but with RPGs, usually there is that like that long kind of quest lines or you have
Progression chain.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
you're absolutely right to feel that
Like I
way
thought
on
I
it
was missing
because it really
something. Like I didn't even train until I was in the castle. Like I didn't start putting like points into the training thing that you do because I missed it. So I thought maybe I was missing
I
more.
think that is by almost design at that point. We'll get into that a little bit, but I think that the pacing of the game kind of has the initial halls as like the tutorial area.
yeah for
So
this
it's fair to
version.
say that, yeah.
Oh no, sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say it's fair to say that they probably didn't have you training too much before that, unless you really farmed harder than the one door enemy.
It's a lot of experience and
Shot
money.
Shouts to that door enemy. I took like 800 pictures of that guy. God bless you, door. Even after you purify the whole mansion, you even still
So
can farm him. It's fantastic. But yeah, this was
let's get some context leading up to this fabled door guy. So when you start the game, you are greeted with this town hub where it's like an overmap, and you get to choose between a bunch of locations. You can go to like a hotel, a speakeasy, a fortune teller, a
Library.
psychic, a library, which it's a bunch of buildings you can go to. It's basically like you're in your stores, your power ups, whatever. You go here between runs to the big old castle you go to. It's this hill, it's this hall on a hill, and you go in there and you're greeted by like a bunch of like goofy ass skeletons and spiders, and you're like, all right, I'm going through a little haunted house. That's fine. You comb through a bunch of rooms. If you try to fight anything, you see you get like 10 experience from a fight. All of that split among your party. You need like 10,000 experience each to level up. It's ridiculous. You're not going to fight random battles. You're going to be running away. You can also talk to enemies. This is something similar to Phantasy Star. Certain enemies will be receptive to your speech. So if you have a high enough speech skill, you can maybe get like some info about the castle or a fun little fact from them, and you avoid the battle by talking to them. It's win-win. You get the pacifism win, you get some info, you make a friend with a skeleton. Maybe not a skeleton because they can't talk to you. You like choose the enemies who can maybe like be capable of speech, but you go from there.
Yeah, mostly like the
Yeah.
poltergeists, like the disembodied entities, like which is like a major part of exploring the manor because you got to talk to them. Like it presents you as a battle, but then you talk to them and they like are like, oh, here's a key or here's this or that, which took a little trial and error for me to get through, but it was fun
Yeah, it's like
learning
there's
all
a
that.
bunch of events to stumble through. Like you'll examine a table and suddenly like you're ambushed by an enemy. Do you decide, oh, maybe this enemy will give me something if I kill him? Do you just decide to run away because it's probably a pointless fight like most of the fights you've encountered so far? And then like all of the experience you get in this game basically is either from farming one of two enemies that actually gives you experience and money, or like
The quests give you a
you
big
just
chunk
you,
too.
you get
Finding
quests.
and the
So it's
quests with
like
quotes
it's
around
finding
it.
these events.
Like you're just
Yeah.
finding lost people in the manor, really. I guess I don't know.
Mhm.
Was there like you're finding
Maybe.
any rings or anything? I can't really.
Yeah, like
No.
you're basically investigating. Your entire modus operandi for this is you're investigating the disappearances of people in this town, this like Midwestern 1930s town, and they're like, "Hey, go check out that spooky castle with the dark clouds over it. I'm sure it's fine over there, but like, just go check it out."
Yeah, and
So
before we get too ahead of
That
ourselves,
sucks.
party composition is really important in this game because there's no real way
mhm.
to get money other than taking pictures, which you need a journalist for.
Yes,
So there is this.
one class to make money.
Yeah. But there is this cool gameplay loop where like you explore the manor a little bit, you run out of your bullets or your roll of film, or if you're using like the scientist, your machine batteries. So then and you can only buy so much like rolls of film, and you know you don't have that much money, so you can only buy so many bullets and batteries that you're kind of going in and out between like runs because you explore the manor a little bit and you're like, oh, I found a key, but I'm kind of running low on stuff. Let me back out. And then you run into ghosts and oh wait, you can't do any damage to them unless you have, you know, a certain set of skills like, you know, spells or certain machine equipment that can
Yeah, like
actually.
your attacks are split into HP damage and MP damage. So if your party doesn't have
Mhm.
MP damage in it, you just
Yeah,
kind of
good
have to
luck.
run from spirits.
Yep. And that walled me out. I got near the end of the manor and I didn't have anyone that could do MP damage, so I couldn't break the seal, you know, for one of the ghosts or I think it was the wife of or the mom of Benedict, like the two banshees that come out of her. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't do damage and I'm like, well, I guess I got to recruit Dirk August or whatever his name is.
God, the way I wander the mansion and see like a 4 banshee encounter and I hit run and it says Kansas Kid, I'm like, oh, I'm just dead. GG's boys, they got me.
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah,
over.
then like you get an unlucky pack of monsters who you
They
fail your
devour
run on
you.
the first attempt, and then they get to attack. Because you get surprised in the attack, your maximum MP goes down for everybody. And when you run out of MP from their AoE MP damage attacks, you lose sanity, and that character is fucking dead.
Yep.
So you can die
Yeah,
from
that
MP
was
damage, HP damage. You got to look at them
Game's
both
out to
fronts.
get you.
But But there is one really nice saving grace. After every single encounter,
Right.
you can pause to your menu,
Yep.
select the rest option, and you heal a shit ton of HP
And
and
you don't get
MP. You can do it
interrupted.
once after every
Yeah,
battle.
they don't interrupt you like, Might and Magic, where you could rest in a dungeon and you might get woken up and only one character's alive, like awake, so you just get murdered. It's pretty forgiving,
Yeah.
which is,
I
It's like one of those things you feel like, oh, I could keep trucking along, but that's not
I'm not making money. I'm
accounting
out
for
of,
the maximum MP.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't get
I
money. Your maximum MP is going down from these surprise attacks. So like, oh, your detective has like 8 max HP. He's gonna die in one MP attack now. You better get out of there.
Mhm.
yeah, the detective is our standard warrior, high HP, no, not really much MP. Very nervous whenever I have to fight anything with MP on it. Also, that rest command, I fully expected to get jumped every time I
Same.
used
I
it.
was scared
At
every
first, I didn't use
time.
it for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
I
I
just
didn't use
bought
it for so
shitloads of
long.
medicine and charm and
Some
just hope for the
survival
best.
kids fit
I
in
was like,
there.
there's no way.
There's no way it's gonna let me rest every single battle. I'm getting jumped by something eventually. I do
I
like
want to
that this
hear
had
what. Oh, go on. Sorry.
and I was gonna say, like, I do like that this game had like the MP run out condition as well for a game over.
Mm,
Because like the first time
yeah.
I was like, I'm dead. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
why am I dead? I'm like,
Yep.
oh, my MP is not magic. It's sanity. It's a sanity
hmm
meter. I understand now.
And like it encourages you to use your MP too, because you can rest after battles. It's just you better
Right.
use it before your max MP goes down, because then you're just running out of casts anyway.
Before we move on past the battle thing, I do want to mention something I like. That since the battles weren't really rewarding, I don't think they're meant to be. Even when you do win one, all it says is just you survived. Like it doesn't even say that
Yeah,
you
it's just
win. It's
like
just you lived.
you
Good
struggle
job.
through it.
I
Like
do.
there's no
And
reward for
again,
doing that. You just
there's
want
like
to avoid conflict.
there's two repeatable encounters in this game that you can just spam taking photographs on, and then you sell the photographs. That's how you get your money. There's a door, and then there's a skeleton guard later. They give you a bunch of experience. That's like the main way to like level up your characters.
There is the
Like you're gonna
fireplace
just fight these.
at the start with the fireplace.
Yeah,
He
it's
doesn't
near
give
the
you that
start.
much though. Not as much as the door. That door is broken. Whoever decided
Oh
to
yeah,
do
yeah,
That
yeah.
door's busted.
crazy. It was a wild choice.
It's very silly.
I would also like to add, you have Dragon Quest, one where you die, you have a little coffin that follows you around. Okay. When you die in this game, you're in a fucking sack and you're
They,
just
they
being
threw your
dragged.
body in the fucking sack.
It's,
It's like a bulging sack that hops around.
it's wild. At first, I was like,
I
what
cracked
is
up laughing when
that?
I saw that.
It was so good, though. But yeah, the gameplay
Oh,
loop.
quick shout out to your party. Just like the way they follow you around is not a single file
That
line.
was,
No, these are fucking badasses. You got a power T pose following
dude.
behind you. Your pro tag is leading, and then you got like the JoJo squad behind you, like all bricked up and like
They were
a
beefy,
horizontal line
dude. They
behind you.
had those were real men in that party. They were 1920s, 1910s people, dude, working in the coal mine with those jackets. They were broad shoulders,
Oh
barrel
yeah.
chested.
That's why the original game starts you at 14. You're practically already 34
Yeah,
back then.
right. You're middle aged. I do want to say I
Um,
remember playing around with RPG Maker and trying to get a centipede effect, and programming that and setting that up was like not easy. Like there was so many like weird little things. So for them to pull off that like T pose, like that T formation, and like have it not break the game, like yeah, you might go through the wall here and there around a corner, but like the way they go into single file lines around like tight spaces, I think this might be the most dynamic like party line formation of the era. Like I'm trying to think, like you have
it's like you scoot on a wall, and they're like, "Excuse me, coming through,"
yeah,
and they like shimmy up next to each other.
like Dragon Quest doesn't do anything crazy. They just follow you. Chrono Trigger was a bit more dynamic, but it felt like wavy. It was not. It didn't feel like, I don't know. Like this one felt like you were in like a military like formation and you were ready to mess up some skeletons. Like I do commend them.
Bricked up.
I think Breath of Fire might have done something like this, but when was after you got the caravan, I think? I don't remember.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It's
you
been
do
forever
have
since I played
Dragon
Breath of
Quest
Fire.
stuff too. Like I believe it was like 5 and 6 where you get like stuff following. I guess even 4 to an extent. But I don't know. I do feel like just in general, they kind of did well with that. I'll say that for a game that's
No,
held
that was
together
really
by
good.
tape or glue and tape. They got that one down.
I want to hear what your starting parties were and like what your
I
protagonist
feel
class
like we're
was. I
all
just want to
gonna
hear
pick the
like
same
your
thing.
values. Yeah, I think we might have. Let's hear it though.
You first, Zero.
All right, I'll start. I picked scientist for mine, and
Oh,
then
never
my
mind.
other members were detective, medium, and journalist.
Yeah, I picked detective as my main, my MC, journalist. She was always in my second. And then I switched around 'cause I had two detectives first because I was like, I don't need that nerd with his machines, and I don't need no like, I used the spirit guy, but then like I lost my save file midway, so then like I had to remake it, and I like played around with the second set of teams, and that screwed me over because by the time I got far, I cycled out the medium for the
Mm.
scientist, and I don't know why, but I couldn't get his machine to hit the MP. Like, but when I was watching the
Um,
YouTube video, he was using the beam to hit the ghosts.
so the problem is every time he gets like confused, his machine seems to fall apart. I don't know if this is by design or a problem with the
Yeah.
translation patch.
Okay.
So you have to go back into the menu, go to machine, equip the thing on the second beam again,
Oh my
and then you
god.
gotta then you get your attack back
Okay.
until he gets confused again. Then it falls apart again. I
Interesting.
feel like
Thank
it's a
God I didn't
translation
use that
bug. I
fucking
can't
nerd.
Yeah.
tell.
Fucking
No, it rules.
Egon
I fucking
ass
love that shit.
motherfucker.
That's that's fucking hilarious. That's exactly how a 1920s machine should work.
What was your
That's pretty
party?
funny. Like you expected us to pick all the same. I picked the female medium for my pro tag.
Nice.
Gave me ghost stories vibes from the portrait. So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Nice.
Oh
Um,
no.
so yeah, and I was always like, you know what, medium in this kind of game, like, there's probably some cool stuff. You probably got some cool ghost busting. I had no idea going into this game what we were going to be expecting. Then I picked detective for my second, just because like he seemed like the standard all around guy. I picked dilettante. Was it dilettante or meddler,
Uh,
something like
in
that?
this game, it's pet. In the translation, it's peddler, but I think the original one is Dilton. I don't know how to fucking pronounce this word. I'm
Okay,
Dilettante.
sorry.
he's red mage.
Yeah.
I had fighter, red mage, and then I had the journalist.
Okay. All right. Nice little
But
mix.
yeah, it was pretty cool. Having the red mage was cool, and especially being the medium, like it let me focus on a lot of the magic stuff. Early on, magic I just like kind of ignored. You find spell books for your dilettante, middler,
Oh, my
whatever his name
diddler.
is, the old diddler.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Uh,
Ruh-roh.
you find books for him throughout the castle. Like you're just examining tables, and it's like, I found the power of mind explosion. It's
Fire.
like, okay, cool.
Whatever.
Uh, yeah, so you beef that up. He gets like AoE attacks. He gets like heals and stuff. I was pretty happy with him. And then like my medium would like either do like backup heals or like she could do, I don't know, just like random spells. She had a poison cure spell that was pretty handy. That I didn't want to carry a bunch of antidotes around, even though they were like 10 gold each. I wasn't spending that money. But yeah, I thought my team was pretty nice, and I got a good spread of physical and magic. And at the end, I replaced my journalist with one of the many recruitable characters you can find in the game. And I think his name is like Kurosawa or something. I already forget. He was like the Japanese swordsman guy. He's a pretty big character. You find him in like a dungeon cell and
Yeah.
stuff. You
They
have to
hint
like
at
put
that
his soul
too.
back in his body. No big
Yeah,
deal.
like one of the people in the speakeasy hint at that. They're like, you could have five characters. You can't use him now though. You're gonna find him later. I'm like, what are you
Hmm.
breaking the fourth wall? Like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you
Yeah.
know this? Like, I thought that
He
was
just like keeps
silly.
going about it.
There is that
It was very
I thought it
space
was
silly.
in your menu. Like,
uh,
you could only recruit so many people, then that space is there for like a big portion of the
Mm.
game, and then you get them.
yeah.
You see it there for so long.
I figured one's like, oh, can you go retrieve like the corpse from the mansion for me? I was like, oh, this is when we use that fifth slot. I'm gonna have to go grab the guy. He'll take up that slot, and then I'm leaving the mansion.
Ah,
But every time I grabbed one, he's like, oh no, you just go.
yeah, they
You're
were
free to go.
generous too with
Okay.
that. They transport you back to the speakeasy. You get a bunch of experience, and you keep rolling after that. You don't got to trek
Yeah.
back. You don't, it was pretty good.
Again, like thinking about how people at the time probably thought this game was super cruel and stuff. I'm just like, Man, I'm colored by fear and hunger. That game hates you. Like
Yeah,
your save is
I
gonna be you only
I
have
definitely
limited save files.
I feel like when I heard people say like back in the day it was considered bad, I don't think that's as like far back as like when this first came out. I think it was like later down the line. This
yeah,
is a
I believe
Japan that's
that
fresh off
too.
of Wizardry. They fucking love this shit.
yeah. This
Japan
Mm.
loves Wizardry to death.
some people probably loaded it up on ZSNES, like half translated in like 2003, and it was just like probably had the same first impression I had, where it was just like, oh,
You can't grind,
yeah,
and it's like, what am I
you just
doing?
expect like this crazy RPG, like, but it's not. It's this condensed like game, and there's this very like defined gameplay loop, and it's
It's very much like the tabletop game. Like you have to focus on your stats are a big part of it. Like you have to focus on like, am I gonna build up my firearm skill? Am I gonna level up speech? And like you don't get that many points throughout the game because there's not that much experience.
yeah,
So you kind of have to decide what you're specializing in.
Yeah, it's a bit odd because like the original game did give you a lot of points for doing other actions like photographs, healing, using the science machine, stuff like that. And I don't know if this game is as generous, or this version rather. I know as the scientist, when I was like playing the game, I went through the whole mansion. I think I found like one extra part, and that was it. I was like, did I just miss everything from my class, or like is it just later in the game? And I never really got a good answer because it turns out the skills you get, like there's like a fighting skill, sword, gun, science, mental. There's all
surgery to
like a skill for
heal.
everything as well on top of your basic stats. And there's one like find clue, and I like never really leveled it during the game, and I'm wondering if I should have leveled that more to find more hidden stuff and whatnot in
Yeah,
the
I was
mansion
thinking.
during the first few
Yeah,
hours.
I was thinking the same thing. There's like a desk. There's a few desks where you click on it, and it's like you're surprised, and you fight like a rat or whatever, and you get nothing from it. And I was thinking, I was like, what if I do like level up that like search skill or whatever skill, and like will I get some? And I even like saved stated in front of it, and like kept reloading after the battle, seeing if it was an RNG thing. Like, well, maybe I have a low chance of finding something for, but I never really got anything out of it. It was just a random desk with like a rat in it. But I do wonder.
I
Yeah,
think that
that's
mystery is a big part of the charm. It's like you don't know if this is just like some random table or if it's like, oh, my skill just isn't high enough. Or
I hate
I think
to
that kind of
unveil the
experimentation is nice.
I hate to remove the cloud, but I'm pretty sure it's like a really janky way of trying to port over the traps from the other versions. Because I had like a whole find trap thing and disarm trap system for this kind of thing. And for this, it's
Yeah.
just kind of static events at every table. But I do think some just don't show up unless you have a high enough find clue. It's similar later on when you get to the second part of the game and you see like the ghost butlers and you try to talk to them, but if you only have like talk like smooth talk or whatever or fast talk level 2, like they just run away from you, like they won't even engage with you. You have like
Yeah,
level up to
like
like
high
4 or 5,
speech
and then they
level is
finally like talk to you about it.
high speech is definitely important. There's even a fifth like lizard man character you can get, I believe only with like 7 speech or something. Like I went to him early on and I had like 5 speech and like he just attacked me. And then I went back because there was an NPC that was like, hey, have you talked to this guy down in the prison cells? He's just like you. And I'm like, that's got to be a thing. He had a portrait. Like I'm gonna go try again. And then he ended up joining me and he helped me kill some bosses. It was pretty cool.
Nice, nice. It's
Yeah, shout out to Shu, he owns.
yeah. I guess so. So there's these like two parts of the game, right? It's you have the manor, and then the
Mm.
castle is kind of like the beefy kind of part. You said earlier that the manor kind of introduces you to the gameplay loop and kind of what to expect.
Mhm. It's got nice like haunted house enemies. Then you get to the castle and it's like fucked up shadow beasts
Yeah,
and like behemoths and like all this crazy scary stuff. The music changes to this like terrible foreboding
music was pretty
music, and then
good. I
like
kind of enjoyed
first
it.
it was really good. But then you get back to like the initial hall area after being in the spooky zone, and it sounds like clown
Yeah,
farts almost because
yeah,
it's like so
it
comical. Like,
does.
this is comforting going back here. Because when you go back to the hall, there's no enemies left, so it's just kind of like a friendly, peaceful zone for you to like go back to town from.
Yeah, I think it was a
I don't know if it's me, just my taste, but like I didn't think the music was too repetitive. But I heard people say they found it or they could find it repetitive.
I could see
I was like, I don't
that.
know, that seems pretty fitting to me.
I could see.
I thought it was perfectly mood setting for what it is. Like, yeah, they're short samples, but like what's there is really moody, especially when you get to the castle.
Yeah, and you are switching it up. You know, you get into a battle. It's like I think it was fine. I don't think it's the greatest soundtrack ever, but I think it was a nice little kind of got me in the zone.
The sound
I
effects were perfect. It was just like very punchy, and I don't know what else I would expect from like something gothic horror on Super Nintendo that was like a port and everything. I thought it was
yeah.
fairly serviceable.
I
Yeah, I think some people wanted like the battle music to be a little more like dark and foreboding and less like chipper, and I can kind of agree with that. But I think it's fine how it is.
yeah, I mean, this game is not perfect by any means. Like we're praising it, but like it definitely is.
It's
It
a bizarre, janky
Yeah,
thing.
it's
Yes.
very janky. It's bare bones yet deep at the same time. Like it
It's like just very tabletop-y at its core, and like I think just knowing that and not expecting like a heavy gameplay like RPG romp like a Chrono Trigger like really helped temper expectations. Maybe again, like I'm gonna keep bringing up Fear and Hunger because it's such a comparable experience. It's the same kind of like story progression of like trying to find this guy who wants to wake up like the old gods to like make his realities and become a god, all this stuff. It's like a very specific mood and feeling where you kind of ignore the short, or I ignore the shortcomings in order to engage with the feeling it gives and like just the mood and atmosphere.
yeah, this isn't
And I thought the gameplay itself worked out for that as
this
well.
isn't another Body Harvest where like I can't ignore the shortcomings because like we praise. I don't know. I'm gonna speak for a lot of us for this podcast, but we do have a tendency to praise the game more often than not. Like I think we're all here to just
We try to find the good.
yeah. Hence
Yeah, I'm here to find the good in these games. I don't want to just hate on
yeah.
them. Even Body Horror, I was like, there's something
I
here.
tried.
It's not in
Hence
this
Lens of
version of
Truth.
it,
Yeah,
though.
I tried, but yeah, hence our name. But like at the same time, there is so much noise out there. It's so easy to be negative and break things down. These people who make these games put literal blood, sweat, and tears, if you're Sakurai, into your game. And
These were small dev teams back in the day. Like never forget.
yeah, and they had to work with limited machine. Like these machines weren't that powerful. You had limitations to work with. You had genres that were just blossoming and becoming their own thing. There's so much that goes into making a game that I'm just happy we can get it at all. It's magic to me. I've tried making an RPG, an RPG Maker. It seems like a no-brainer in your head, but so is flying. Picture yourself flying in your head. It's easy.
Yeah.
Like everything's easy in your head. But when you break it down and see a finished product, I think it's so important to just appreciate what these people are trying to do and not what they didn't do. None of this woke agenda stuff. Oh my god, female MC, she's so woke. Like, just enjoy the game. There's so much art and beauty put into these experiences that if you're only
All it takes is putting yourself in the shoes of what the creator wanted to put out there, all these influences, and just like what you have to think, what did they want people to feel? What inspired them to get here, aside from the money
Yeah.
and like it being a job?
and like if you're spending your time and the only thing you're getting out of it is negativity, oh, that's that. I don't know. For me personally, that just
And
seems
that's a body harvest.
yeah. That's a body harvest. But like, it's not worth it. To have like spend your time and just see something just purely negative. Obviously, things will be critical of certain stuff. Like I'm saying, this is not a perfect game. It's janky. I put it down the first time I tried to play it. It's not perfect. It's bare bones, as I said earlier, but there is depth to it. There is something interesting they tried. There's a crazy cool setting. The gameplay loop is fun. So I just want to throw that out there because I don't want us to seem like we just
Yeah,
love
like
everything we touch
we
because that's just not
it's
true.
not toxic positivity. It's like there is some shining stuff in here. Like there's a ton of like they're not fleshed out or anything, but there's a ton of like interactable characters and like quest flags in here, and like it just feels like a breezy story playthrough of like it felt like playing through an interactive less wordy book. Does that even make sense? A less wordy
No, it
book.
does. It's a streamlined tabletop story. Like it's not.
Yeah.
There's not a lot here.
Yeah, and you're role play. Like
Mm,
in tabletops, you're kind of like role playing. You're given a setting, but you
that's it.
create this character. You get what you put in. Like
Your struggles are the story.
absolutely. So I don't want to throw. That was my little tangent because
I'm
it's just it's a
I'm there with you on that tangent.
good. I'm glad
Oh,
we're on
sorry,
the
go on. I
same
thought you were
page.
done.
No, I was just gonna say because I just go on Twitter these days and like Forspoken. I just bought that game for $10. I've never played it. I don't know, but like on the Twitter post for Cheap Ass Gamer or whoever Wario64, you just see like 60, 70 comments being like this woke garbage. Like oh my, and posting meme images about.
Such a waste of time and
It's just like
energy.
no is something simply because there's just a female. Like, how is it woke art? How is it because this game is trying to like be inclusive that you just dismiss it completely? I used to see like one or two people share that opinion, but when there's like a sea of like 40 comments and they're all just parroting the same thing, like gaming has fallen so far, and it's this guy who's only been playing Xbox 360 games, like it's just
You know why? It drives engagement, and I am not going to engage with it. I've decided that on my end. If there
It's
is that kind of discourse, it's just boring. What's the point? If something does suck and there's like some merit to like discussing why, then that's fun. You can like break things down, but like, man, I'd rather just create. I'd rather talk about things I like. I'd rather just spread the
yeah,
good.
and it's not even
it's
there.
frustrating
Go on, Zero. Go on. I've
because
rambled.
oh no, you're fine. I'm just gonna ramble with you because like it's frustrating to see this because it's really just like a bunch of fucking robots trying to do the psychology experiment of like convincing you that you shouldn't like the thing by just being like overwhelmingly in support of hating it. Like, and it pisses me off. I the one part of Forspoken I don't like is that fucking Joss Whedon ass cutscene. The fuck that cutscene, I
I
hate
don't
it.
even
But the rest of
know.
the game is
I
fine.
don't
I'm
even know, but I'll get
she's
to it.
like, so like, oh
Wasn't
my
she like,
god, I
well, that
just
just
cast that
happened?
freak. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I just do that with my freaking mind. And I'm like, like that's fine.
He's
But the
from New
rest of the
York,
game is
though.
good
I'll
though.
let you
Like,
guys hear my mom. She talks just like that girl from
yeah,
Facebook. Like,
it probably is
Yeah,
normal, but like
let's
it's
be
just
real. Those people
poison.
exist.
It's just poison to me. I just hate that kind of thing. It's the same with like
Mm.
every fucking Genshin Impact, like having the little partner character with the high pitched voice telling you how to play the video game and what to think at every given moment. It's like shut the hell up and let
hey,
me enjoy the
leave
Yeah.
game,
Navi
please.
alone.
Navi was fine. Navi was barely a fucking sin compared to half the shit nowadays that don't get complained about. But back to my actual point, yeah, it's just like people trying to normalize this shit to get support
Yes.
for it. It's frustrating to see because it's really like I really doubt it's any kind of majority opinion.
No.
Like everything you hear online is always gonna be like the people who are upset about things. Like in customer service, you never hear a good feedback most of the time. It's always the people who get pissed off that rise to the top.
Yeah, and I just go back to that where it's just like these aren't even their opinions. As you said, these are just robots. I'm not using the term NPC. That's done. We're talking robots. But like these people are just
I just said
We're
Navi,
going
yeah.
on.
they just watched a random YouTube video and they are parroting verbatim this opinion. So like it's not even their own thought that they're trying to spread into the world. So it's just disgusting to
You know,
me.
it's just a modern sadness that I kind of think this thought from time to time how online discourse has totally dissolved into what it is today. When back in the day we had our forum discussions, we had flame wars, we would post back and forth with people for days about your opinions on video games, and these were your opinions. You didn't have the algorithm.
Yep.
Damn it. Back in my day,
Yep.
you didn't
It's
get
true
to
though.
just be
Huh.
negative and have that drive the algorithm, and like it makes more comments, people have to defend their side or whatever, and then that just boosts their visibility, and it's a self-fulfilling loop, and I just tune right out of it.
All you got to do.
But I'm not saying this to disprove it because you're absolutely right still, but I mean, you had your contrarians back then. You had your people who just read EGM or
They
Game Informer
were
and just got their opinion from it, but they still were like arguing in an arena of like 20
they were
people.
still
They all knew
articulate
each
too.
other.
Like
Yeah.
they were creating an argument that didn't boil down to there's Lara Croft. this is woke garbage. Like
Yeah.
no one said that
Yeah.
in 1996 or whatever. Like they might have been like, "Oh, sex sells? Oh, why are they, which I understand."
No, it was like basic stupid shit like Sega does when Nintendo don't, and like Nintendo-year-olds and like
Mhm.
just basic shit. It's like it's not serious. It's like, yeah, we're picking our side in the console wars. Which side are you on?
Actually, a really
Everyone's like
fun
taking
episode
the piss.
idea.
Well,
A really fun episode idea. You could go over like the old BBS fucking console wars from like the early
well, you
'90s. That
could
shit
type in
funny as
Google.
hell.
You just write like so and so news group at the end of it, and you'll get posts from 1996, 1997, 1989, and there are just people like they will be the contrarian, but they'll also I did this recently with FF8. I wanted to see what people were saying in 1999 when FF8 came out, and it's very different how people are expressing their dislike for it. Like it was just criticism. It wasn't this weird political agenda. They weren't driving anything. They were just saying like, I didn't like the love story. This like a lot of this doesn't make sense, and they're not wrong. Again, the game was I think written by 3 people, and they didn't
And,
communicate.
and then if people communicate on that level too, it leaves itself open for discourse or like communication or like a
Yeah, you could
dialogue,
build off of
even
it.
rather. It's like you can be like, well, you didn't think this part was good. Well, let me tell you my take on what I think made it expanded and what makes it worthwhile. And then like you get these back and forths of like long effort posts and like sincerity
Mhm.
and one-on-one like actual like engaging with each other. When you just shout into the void, it's so much easier to go nuh or break things down or like just be dismissive than it is to build up or create.
Mhm.
It just takes so much more effort to make than it does to destroy.
Absolutely.
There's probably something here about like the theory of like a civilization, like the scale it gets to before it becomes like unmanageable and impersonal and something. I don't remember enough about when I've heard this to actually bring it up.
There's something
I'm
there.
just thinking
I
about it in the back
will
of my head.
make
What
a
if it applies
similar
to Twitter and its
analogy.
stupid
There is
140 character
a
limit?
yeah. There's the quote from the movie History of the World by Mel
No.
Brooks. The beginning of the movie, it starts with the caveman, and it's like, first came the artist, and it shows a caveman drawing his cave painting on the wall, and then it says, then came the critic, and the critic just comes and looks at the art, and then he pulls down his pants and starts pissing all over it.
It's crazy. I was literally thinking about that movie earlier today because I was just thinking, what could we watch? We all watch movies together. That's a thing we do for anyone that doesn't know. And I was thinking of getting us on a Mel Brooks kick, but I think the
DVD, let's do it.
crystals have lined up.
Yeah, you were walking Laplace's magic. Everything in the Matic universe led us to this moment, sharing the experience.
Bring it right back.
Line up the arms of the past and
Where even
future
are
to
we bringing it
summon Mel
back to?
Brooks. Let's bring it back to. I guess I'll talk about the character building again, just to clarify. Like the original game had a lot more like going on with building the skills and learning different skills on the party members and like giving you more control over them. Whereas the Super Nintendo version seems to be more. This is your detective. This is what they know. This is your journalist. This is what they know. There's no flexibility there.
Yeah.
And Peddler is actually an interesting one because, like, it's the red mage. I think it gets like a better variety of spells in the medium. Like the medium and the scientist are both like good early game, good late game, and like middle of the game is like Peddler like
Yeah,
is
Peddler
the
kind of gets
inverse.
everything. He gets his own school of magic. The medium has their own magic, which is like more strictly mana based, and the peddlers is like kind of like he was reading a how to Cthulhu handbook and like he crafted his spells based off of that. It's like
He's using that
ruinous lightning,
enemy skill
yeah,
material.
it's mythos desecration, like stuff like that.
Yeah, it was really cool, like seeing the different classes having weight to them and early game.
A
Some,
bit of flavor.
yeah, because some
I
really
would
shine early game, and then probably by end game, you said you switched out your journalist because you probably have so much money and you don't need to buy anything, so you scoop them in for
Yeah,
something
I was kind
else.
of at the point where I was like, I see this guy like he's edgy, he's Japanese, he uses a sweet katana, he can use magic too. Why would I not use this guy? You
what
know?
was I didn't get much farther into Act 2 due to other things going on at this time, but, when did you get that guy? Because like, I remember them leading me into the mansion to find him, and I never found him. Was he in the
It
castle?
was probably like halfway through the castle. Yeah, most of the stuff
Okay.
is in the
It was like
castle.
four
The
three.
mansion itself is probably like 1/5 of the game. I wouldn't say it's even halfway
I
point.
think like was he like in the basement of the castle or like floor three? I feel like
He was in like some dungeon cell. His soul was separated from his body because like one of the wizards in the castle killed him, but like his soul was still around. So he splashed some holy water on him that you bought over the
it was
counter
like
at the
holy oil. I think right.
pharmacy.
Was it?
Holy
Yeah,
oil, something like
Yeah,
that.
holy oil.
yeah,
Give him a little bit of that tincture.
yeah. So yeah, like the whole progression was really cool because there's what 5 levels in the castle, like 5 floors, something around there, maybe 5 or 6.
There's 4 floors, and then there's like a dark dimension floor. That's like the final area, and like
Yeah, the way they break it down is really cool because your teleportation is in the manor. I thought that was interesting. I thought the castle was going to appear like
mm,
at the northern part of that world map, like just kind of like, oh,
yeah.
it popped up. But it's this.
But instead, you like warp around with these like sigils on the ground, and they warp you to and fro. Like the first part of the game, you have to like unseal these different seals, and like unsealing them is what lets the magic flow, and then they go to this like alternate world, and then you transport to the castle, and then when you find the sigils on the ground, that's like your quick travel point. But like navigating the castle feels so confusing, and there's dead ends everywhere. Like you have to go up and down floors constantly to get to other sides of the wing on the previous floor, and like until you unlock shortcuts, it's just a maddening like you try to map this area out in your head, and it's
That's
so hard to keep track of all these twists and
that's
turns,
where
and
that.
the area is dark around you. If you sprint, your like light radius goes down, like the whole border of the screen goes dark. So if you there's a purpose to walking instead of running, you get like a little bit of illumination so you can see where you're
I thought
going.
that was a great touch. Like once my brain clicked with that, I was like, oh, this is actually because at first I was like, wait, why
Mhm.
is it like randomly getting dark and why can I not see random? But once it clicked, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
this is nice. It's making me take my time and slowly walk through this creepy manor or castle. But going back to what you were saying about the layout for the castle, that's where that first person dungeon crawling map design like it's crazy because I didn't know that was a thing until like Zero posted it and mentioned it. But as I was playing the game and I would like open up the map that you'd find maps or randomly and then you could press like X or whatever to bring it up. Like the whole time I was doing that, I was looking at the map design and I was like, this looks like a Strange Journey dungeon or an SMT map or like something like that. And so I was cool. Like it was cool to sniff that out and actually have that be a real thing. I thought I was just going crazy making it up in my head. It was like my own little head canon. I would.
it's like, am I
So
getting glaucoma when I'm pressing this button? There was
so the
also,
funny
I don't know if you guys noticed this other graphical effect, but like randomly on the text boxes, like on the dialogue, there were like little blotches of darkness on the letters. I thought my screen was
Oh
smudgy, and I kept
yeah, there
trying to wipe
was.
it, but it would be like come up in random spots.
Yeah.
I think it was like a
It,
kind of transparency effect, if I recall.
Okay. Interesting.
it was
Like I
fucked up.
think when I noticed it in town, it was like I could see like the shopkeeper's desk behind the, like a letter T, and I was like, oh, that's neat. I will say, however, back on the map thing, these are not, again, very much not direct ports of what the original ones look like. Here, I'm going to post the basement floor one really quick for the castle for the actual first person crawler, and like this shit's absolutely just SMT.
Yeah, a lot of that. As far as dungeon layouts and everything goes, even the manor has this weird like there's doors that are barricaded. You got to get the shortcuts. Like I think it was pretty damn well designed. Like overall, like the meat of this game is really just this gameplay loop and figuring out the manor and figuring out the castle. And I think it does its job. It was really fun getting deep into it. I didn't quite finish the game. I got, I think I'm real close to the end based on like the long play and the FAQ and stuff. Looking at how much is left, I definitely plan to finish this and kind of go all out in that castle. Uh,
It's kind of fun just like exploring the rooms. You get like random flavor rooms, like you'll find some like cemetery room and like there you can examine the graves for some flavor on stuff going on. Like you go into like this dungeon area and one of the NPCs is talking about how one of the cells had used like water torture and like you have to go and stop the water flow over there and stuff like this. It's just like if you let yourself immerse in like role play a bit and imagine like you're on old hardware. If you imagine a bit and like play it up and really put yourself in there and like just think about the implications and the author intent, it's a pretty spooky cool little
were you
time.
satisfied
I mean, we kind of.
with your ending?
Yeah, so I beat the game. I think because I had that anime swordsman guy in my party, I got like a special cutscene with him at the end too. But like the whole, regardless of that, the whole lead up to like the climax and everything, everything comes together. It's a very realized story beats and like it. I'm not gonna spell it out for everyone in case you want to play it. It's the same for you guys if you guys want to finish it. Um, just know that it's satisfying. You get all beats. It's just, yeah, I was very satisfied when I beat this thing. I got to the end screen and I was like, yeah, that felt like getting to the last page in a satisfying book and slamming that back cover closed and just like getting that sense of relief. It was really nice.
I definitely want to go like trying campaigns with people to translate the original PC version now because I
I
want to
would
see
love
that one in
to see
English.
that.
I want to experience that. But also, I do want to do another playthrough of this where I play as the peddler instead.
But yeah, I think that's mostly our thoughts. We dived a little bit deep into this. We ate some meat off this bone. Any last thoughts that we want to give out? You know, I give all the praise in the world to this game. There's nothing really much.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle at the start. Once you find that you can change the game text speed, it was a whole game changer. I didn't
Oh
even mention
yeah,
that. I started this game and the default speed for text
Oh,
is unbearably slow.
rough.
You get into combat and it's like you're mashing A like, why want to go? Why want to go? Must go faster, must go faster. And it's just like a snail's pace. But then you bump it up and it's instant text, and you're like, all right, I can work with this. So after that, I had a good old time blasting through this.
shout outs to the developer that said, you know what, let him just hold a button down to scroll through all the text at
Oh,
max
yeah.
speed. You're a godsend.
And it's
Thank
like
you
you
so
can't
much.
read the effects half the time. You're like, wait, my attack did
Yeah,
what?
well, that
It doesn't
happened a
matter. We're
lot.
moving on.
I was like, oh wait, I missed this. Hold up.
Yeah.
It's me in Dragon Quest 3,
The
baby.
door said what this time?
But yeah, that is Laplace. Say it right? Laplace's demon.
Yeah, Laplace. Laplace.
Laplace.
Laplace.
Laplace demon. But yeah, I had a great time with it. I hope more people give it a chance that it deserves. It's not
Perfect spooky mood.
right. It really is, and it's not that long. You could do it in like 3 or 4 play sessions. Honestly,
Yeah, I'd say it's a solid like 6 hours ish.
give or take if you fumble around. But I don't think it's going to be any more than 15. Like it's a quick romp. If you get
Yeah, I'd say like median
Yeah.
10 for sure.
If you're like me and you just like to wander around, it's gonna be like 12 or 13. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there are little puzzle like like you're gonna get tripped up a little bit. You're gonna need to know when to use the salt and little things, but all the information is there. Everything that I needed to know, I did find with the clues in the game.
Yeah, you can actually dig through the game.
Yeah, it was cool. 10 out of 10.
And there were
Uh,
definitely events that I missed. There were things that I didn't complete. I know there were little secrets I didn't go back for. So there's like it's none of it's essential, but you can dig in and get like a little bit of a different experience than your peers. Maybe a little unique events here and there.
Random listener, I beg you, if you do play this game, uh, keep a notebook and make note of which rooms you've actually like examined everything in. Don't be like me and miss a
Yeah,
key for two
like
hours.
print out the map, color in the rooms you've been to or something. This is a thought I had like 80% through the game. I was like, man, I wish I kept track of these maps.
Yeah, it can get a little
I was
overwhelming.
listening key for like Charles. I was like, where the hell is it? Like I thought I've examined everything. There was one desk in an earlier room I didn't go back to.
Yep, you just
But again, that's part of the gameplay loop that you go in for is an adventure detective game.
That's
You
right.
are looking for clues, you are looking for suspects, you are looking for victims, you're looking for all kinds of stuff.
This is the dungeon crawling I live for.
Yeah, and that is our, I believe, what, third spooky game of the month or second?
I guess technically
We did
second. You
Silent
want to count
Hill.
Soak's song?
Yeah, I guess Silent. We'll bring Silent. Well, that could grandfather did. So yeah, that this was our third spooky game of the month, and we'll try and squeeze out two more at the most, give or take. But yeah, thank you for listening, and till next time, later.
Later.